Welcome to the future. The Sun, the beating heart of the solar system. The Sun is a bright, spherical star located at the center of the solar system. This star consists of hot plasma and a powerful magnetic field and is known as the main source of light, heat and energy in the solar system. Characteristics of the Sun: diameter, about 1,392,000 kilometers, that is 109 times the diameter of the Earth. Mass, 333,000 times the mass of the Earth. Volume, 1,400,000 times the volume of the Earth. Surface temperature, about 5,500 degrees Celsius. Core temperature, about 15 million degrees Celsius. Composition, 73% hydrogen, 25% helium and 2% other elements. The role of the Sun in the solar system: source of light and heat. Light and heat from the Sun are essential for life on Earth and other planets in the solar system. The source of light and heat is the Sun nuclear fusion reaction. The main source of light and heat of the Sun is the nuclear fusion reaction that occurs in its core. In this reaction, hydrogen atoms combine and become helium atoms. In this process, a small amount of the mass of the atoms is converted into energy. This energy is radiated to the surrounding space in the form of light and heat. Nuclear fusion reaction stages: extreme heat. The temperature of the core of the Sun is about 15 million degrees Celsius. This heat causes the hydrogen atoms to move quickly and collide. Collision of atoms. When hydrogen atoms collide, their nuclei are brought together. Overcoming the repulsive force, the nuclei of atoms have a positive charge and therefore repel each other. In the core of the Sun, high temperature and high pressure cause this repulsion to be overcome. Fusion. The nuclei of hydrogen atoms combine to form a helium nucleus. Energy release. In this process, a small amount of the mass of atoms is converted into energy. This energy is radiated to the surrounding space in the form of light and heat. Importance of nuclear fusion reaction. The nuclear fusion reaction in the Sun is essential for life on Earth and other planets in the solar system. The light and heat of the Sun causes water to be liquid on the surface of the Earth, plants to photosynthesize and air to form. Other sources of light and heat from the Sun. Other nuclear reactions. In addition to the nuclear fusion reaction, other nuclear reactions occur in the Sun that produce heat and light. Stored energy. The Sun has a lot of stored energy during its lifetime. This energy is released gradually and helps to heat the Sun. Earth's rotation driver. The Sun's gravity keeps the Earth in its orbit and causes it to rotate around itself. Earth rotation drive. The Earth's rotation around its axis, also known as the Earth's positional motion, is maintained by its angular momentum. Angular torque is a physical quantity that depends on the mass, velocity, and distance of an object from its axis of rotation. Factors affecting the angular momentum of the Earth. Earth's mass. Earth's mass is large, so it has a large angular momentum. Earth's rotation speed. Earth rotates around its axis at a speed of 1,670 km/h. This high speed contributes to the Earth's angular momentum. Distribution of Earth's mass. Earth's mass is not uniformly distributed. Most of the Earth's mass is concentrated in its core. This mass distribution contributes to the Earth's angular momentum. Effects of Earth's rotation. Creation of night and day. The rotation of the Earth causes different parts of the Earth to be alternately exposed to sunlight and plunged into darkness. creating deviations in the movement of wind and oceans. The rotation of the Earth causes deviations in the movement of wind and oceans. This deviation is known as the Coriolis effect. Determining the length of the day. The length of the day depends on the angle of rotation of the Earth with respect to the Sun. Changes in Earth's rotation. Deceleration of rotation. Earth's rotation is gradually slowing down. The reason for this is the tides created by the Moon. Change in rotation angle. The rotation angle of the Earth is also gradually changing. This phenomenon is known as Chandler oscillations. Source of energy for plants. Sunlight is essential for plant photosynthesis and food production. Energy source for plants' photosynthesis. The main source of energy for plants is a process called photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, plants use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to produce glucose and oxygen. Steps of photosynthesis. Light absorption. Pigments in plant leaves, such as chlorophyll, absorb sunlight. Energy conversion. Sunlight energy is converted into chemical energy and stored in ATP and NADPH molecules. Calvin cycle. Energy stored in ATP and NADPH is used to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose. Oxygen release. Oxygen is released as a byproduct of photosynthesis. Importance of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is essential for life on Earth. This process, food, glucose produced in photosynthesis is a source of food for plants and animals. Oxygen, oxygen released in photosynthesis is essential for animal respiration. Absorption of carbon dioxide. Photosynthesis helps absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and helps regulate the climate. Factors affecting photosynthesis. Light. The intensity and wavelength of light affect photosynthesis. Water. Water is essential for photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is essential for photosynthesis. Temperature. The ideal temperature for photosynthesis is between 15 and 25 degrees Celsius. Climate driver. The sun's heat causes wind, rain, and other weather phenomena. Weather driver. Climate generally refers to the long-term pattern of temperature, precipitation, wind, and other atmospheric phenomena in a particular region. Various factors play a role in creating weather, which are divided into two general categories. External factors. Solar radiation. Solar energy is the main source of energy on Earth and the main driver of weather and climate. The angle of the sun, the length of the day and the night, and the amount of radiation received in different areas affect the weather. Earth's rotation. Earth's rotation causes deviations in the movement of wind and oceans and generally affects weather patterns. Geographical location. The geographical location of a region, such as latitude, altitude, and proximity to the sea, affects the climate of that region. Internal factors. Oceans. Oceans play an important role in regulating climate. They absorb and release heat and moisture and help move heat and moisture around the globe. Wind. Wind helps move heat, moisture, and other weather elements across the Earth's surface. Topography. The height and shape of the land affects rainfall and wind patterns. Other factors. Human activities. Human activities such as burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and agriculture can affect the climate. Natural phenomena. Natural phenomena such as volcanic eruptions, solar storms, and El Niño can affect the weather. Interaction of factors. Weather is the result of the complex interaction of all these factors. A change in any of these factors can affect the climate in a region or the entire world. Interesting facts about the Sun. If we could fit Earth into a hollow sun, there would be about 960,000 Earths. The Sun loses about 4.2 million tons of mass every second. It takes 8 minutes for sunlight to reach the Earth. The Sun was formed about 4.6 billion years ago. The Sun is expected to live for another 5 billion years. Which planets does sunlight reach and which planets doesn't? Sunlight reaches all the planets in our solar system. The Sun is in the center of the solar system and its light and heat radiates to all the planets of the solar system. Planets that reach the Sun. Mercury. It is the closest planet to the Sun and receives the most light and heat from the Sun. Venus. The second planet closest to the Sun and receives a lot of light and heat from the Sun. Earth. It is the third planet from the Sun and receives the right amount of light and heat for life. Mars. It is the fourth planet from the Sun and receives less light and heat than Earth. Jupiter is the fifth planet from the Sun and receives much less light and heat than Earth. Saturn. It is the sixth planet from the Sun and receives much less light and heat than Earth. Uranus is the seventh planet from the Sun and receives much less light and heat than Earth. Neptune is the eighth planet from the Sun and receives much less light and heat than Earth. Planets that cannot be reached by sunlight. There is not a single planet in our solar system that does not receive sunlight. Hints. The amount of light and heat from the Sun that each planet receives depends on the distance of that planet from the Sun. Planets that are closer to the Sun receive more light and heat. Planets that are farther from the Sun receive less light and heat. Sunlight is essential for life on planets. It is difficult to estimate the exact number of suns in the Milky Way galaxy, but according to various studies, there are between 100 and 400 billion sun-like stars. Reasons for uncertainty. Galaxy size. The Milky Way is a very large galaxy and it is difficult to check all its stars. Limitations of telescopes. Telescopes cannot see all the stars in the galaxy, especially the faint ones. Diversity of stars. Stars vary in size, mass, luminosity, and age. Estimation methods. Counting stars in small parts of the galaxy. Scientists can count the number of stars in small parts of the galaxy and then estimate that number for the entire galaxy. Using computer models. Scientists can use computer models to simulate galaxy formation and evolution and estimate the number of stars. The importance of estimating the number of suns. Estimating the number of suns helps us to have a better understanding of the Milky Way galaxy, how it formed and evolved, and the position of the Sun in it. Study of the Sun. Scientists study the Sun using various methods such as telescopes, satellites, and probes. These studies help us to have a better understanding of the Sun, how it works and how it affects the solar system.